What's up? What's up, otakus? It's been a it's been a bit of a rough week. The entire family is sick with some kind of virus. I think uh, I'm the healthiest of three of us because I am the only one who hasn't thrown up. My wife threw up last night. My kid threw up last night. I fortunately did not, but feeling a little. I'm just fatigued, and yeah, I mean, just I had to kind of take care of things today. My wife was out of commission. She had a fever and just wasn't feeling good. So it was. They're sleeping now, getting rest. So I'm about to turn in as well. But before I did, I thought I would just um, do something really fun, and that is uh, Neil Neil's Comics issued a challenge to feature, a top 10 sort of a list of your best all women's cover, and it's just a fun thing to do. But basically, you take your women superheroes. Uh, and you feature comic covers where they're the focal point of the cover. So, um, I mean, that's that, in terms of what's a focal point, I think the criteria is like it's just them on the cover. Um, but I have a few covers here where, they're not, it's not just them, but they're obviously the focal point. They're nothing in the cover would suggest otherwise. So hopefully that would fit the criteria as well. So I left something like the first appearance of Batgirl off the list, even though it is um, probably one of my favorite covers. Batgirl, their first appearance, um, just because Batman and Robin are also in the frame, and that's the only reason. This was a really hard list to put together because there's just so many great covers. Um, and I think, and as I was putting together these books, I kind of realized collecting these great covers of women superheroes is kind of my thing. I think a lot of people have that. I don't know if that's something you subconsciously or unconsciously collect. Um, I just realized that today. I was like, man, I have a lot of like great covers of like um, female superheroes. Uh, and I realized a lot of my favorite superheroes are women, and so it's something that I didn't like consciously do, but it just turns out that's the case. And so I think also part of it, what has to do with it, is like a lot of the artists I like to collect um, have that as you know their muse, whether they like to draw a certain female character or whatnot. It's that's there. So if you're collecting that artist, um, you're just getting a lot of great. Um, you're just getting a lot of great art in that vein. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, but I will now. Now that I'm aware of it, I'm actually going to be more, I think, proactive about picking up just covers of female superheroes. Just being more kind of proactive about looking out for specific covers that we like. So, um, anyway, let's get to the list. All right. And again, I had a really difficult time kind of paring down the list. But I hope these 10 are really reflective of um, the characters I like and the art that I like. Okay. Uh, One thing I will note is I had a great um, Supergirl cover by Michael Turner, which was a sketch, black and white. Um, it was just a black and white sketch cover. And I sold it because I had always intended to get like a better copy. It wasn't, there were issues with the book. There were just some like, it was a dirty book. There were some creases. I think there was a rip and there were some spine ticks. Um, and then I had this opportunity to sell it, and I just sold it with the thought that I would pick it up again at some point. So that's one book, that Michael Turner Supergirl variant cover. Was a cover I really liked and probably would have made this list. Just I sold it with the intention of picking it up someday, a better copy someday. So that's on my list of things to do. Another book I have remorse on is, and this is a shout out to Fanboy Prime now. Fanboy Prime put out his list, so go check. I put a link in the description. Go check out his list. Great list, and he shows off a book, um, the Adam Hughes Catwoman cover, and I had that book. I had that book as well, and I love that book as well. But I had an opportunity to partake in a trade where I'd be getting other books that, for me, were high priority books. And so I traded away that great cover. And again, that's another book I think we are always on the lookout to bring, because I do have remorse about getting rid of that book. That is it's a beautiful cover. Um, just a great, it's Catwoman's mugshot. She just come out of the rain. It's just gorgeous. And I knew I'd regret it when I traded it. Even though I got books that I liked, I knew I was like, oh man, this is a great book. I'm kind of sad to see it go. And it was a decent condition book, um, high grade. So I don't know. Hopefully that book comes back to us at some point. That's another cover that probably would have made this list. Um, so that's that. Um, for the most part, these are really sort of um, I think the top books that I like to just stare at. If that's any indication of how I put my decision making process on this list. So we'll start here with just one of my favorite artists of all time. And she's relatively new to the game. You know her, you love her, Peach Momoko. So we start off strong with Demon Days, X-Men #1. This is a big book because she does the interior work. And as you know, Peach is well known for covers. I mean, she's the cover queen of the, the 20s. I think it's fair to say we're in the 20s now, right? We're in the third year of the 20s. It's fair to say she's the cover queen of the 20s, and I love this. So, as you guys know, if you've been watching, you know I love Psylocke. I love Psylocke, and Psylocke, for the longest time, the only design I could kind of latch onto was Jim Lee's redesign of Psylocke, where she turned more like Black Elektra-esque, ninja-like Psylocke with the swords and the side knife. Sexy, I like to say sexy with a PS Psylocke, right? And for the longest time, I just, there was no other design. Like if people tried to reinvent her with a different look or whatever, I was saying, just keep the sexy Psylocke design. There's no need to rework something that's working and will never stop working, right? But this is the first time I would kind of retract that opinion. I think if you look at the character design on Psylocke for this book, first of all, this is not Psylocke. This is Psy, Psy, kind of like this, the K-pop singer Psy. But this version of Psy is like medieval Japan Psylocke, and she has this very traditional Japanese sort of costume that kind of keeps the certain elements of the Psylocke that I just mentioned that we love, the design that we love, but also a very Japanese concept of the character. Again, with these like bandages here, the obi that she wears, just amazing. And this cover is just incredible. So that is number 10 on my list. And staying with Peach, and staying with a character I love, you could argue that when Jim Lee designed Sexy Psylocke back in the late 80s, he had this character in mind when in the redesign, which is Elektra. And this is another great Peach Momoko cover, black, white, and red, that pops with the flowers there. She's just kind of leaning back. She's holding her beautifully, intricately designed samurai sword. And again, the design of Psylocke, I think there's a similarity between Elektra and Psylocke. You can make the argument that if you change the color scheme, it's essentially the same kind of design. Some of the differences are, obviously there's a bandana here. Elektra, has this like gypsy look, gypsy looking bandana costume. But, and of course, some of there are other differences as well, but overall, sort of the bandage-like wrappings around the appendages and the use of the swords and the weapons, those are all, I think, you know, basically similarities. So, um, love this cover as well. Peach Moonwoko does an amazing job. Amazing job. All right. The next cover is an artist that I do like. Um, an artist who has really been there at the very early stages of um, my maturation process in comic books. As you know, I was collecting from probably around, I want to say fourth grade, but it wasn't like I was getting books. I would just randomly pick up books, like at the supermarket and stuff. It wasn't until like middle school where I started going to comic book shops and kind of saving up, whatever uh, whatever allowance I had to pick up books. And again, I think this was right around when Batman 1989 Batman, Tim Burton Batman came out. It was just everybody loved Batman. It was like that was the comic du jour. There's so many great Batman books that came out at around like before, during, and after that whole movie fiasco. Um, and of course, Brian Bolland's The Killing Joke. That was like, it was a trip. It was a trip, especially for someone like a kid in middle school. That book was like for adults, totally. But again, I went to the comic book shop, picked it up, read it, loved it. It also gave me nightmares a little bit. But the art in that book is incredible. So we've always been aware of how great of an artist Brian Bolland is, and this next book is just testimony to that. And that is okay. Again, he does. Perez initiates this volume of Wonder Woman, and then a lot of different artists come on, but Bolland kind of takes over and does just an amazing job on his run of Wonder Woman, and a lot of great covers in this run. I want to collect. I want to add more, definitely. And shout out to Justin Knows Good Comics, man. He's been featuring a lot of these Bolland pickups, which got me also. He basically put these books on my radar as well. So I'm always kind of looking for them and searching for them, whether they're keys or not. I'm going to try to pick them up. And that was the case in this instance. I picked this one up for 50 cents. I love it. It's Wonder Woman 66, and a little homage to Sigourney Weaver, putting on the spacesuit there. And just, again, so this isn't necessarily like, there's like guys in the background just kind of oogling her. But to me, like, she's so central to the book. It is really like she's there by herself. So, again, this Bolland cover is incredible, and so love that. This next book, I I kind of struggled with whether I should put it on the list or not because, again, it's not like, uh, hey, what's up, Nowhere Bound? Don't you? Yeah, thanks. This is a great list. I hope everybody watches, takes part in this challenge. It's a great challenge. I know everybody has books in this vein in their collection, so um, hopefully everybody takes part. It's not late over here. It's about 10 p.m. So uh, yeah, thanks for joining, CJ. Are you off your? Are you still doing your? What's up? Holy hand grenades. All right. That's Thanks for joining, guys. I'm just going over my list of top 10. So there's a cover challenge. Neil issued a challenge. Fanboy Prime took the challenge up. I saw his video, got inspired, thought I'd do my own list. Basically, we're doing all female top female superhero covers where it's just them or they're the focal point. And so, what's up, guys? So, this next book, I kind of struggled whether I should put it on or not. It definitely is one of my favorite covers in the collection. But the issue is, um, our heroine is not central to the cover. Now, I would make the argument that um, she is, but obviously she shares the space, and there's actually a dude in the foreground uh, with the word bubbles and stuff. Like he's the one talking, so it's kind of like one of those like mansplaining covers, I guess you could look at it that way. And it's kind of, I don't know, it's a little bit um, yeah, it's a little bit antiquated in terms of like um, but the guy is the comic book, the characterization of this guy was meant for him to be kind of sleazy and just not a, yeah, basically um, not a good guy. So but again, I love this cover. I just could not bring myself to keep it off the list, and that is Fantastic Four 275. And this is a book I am always on the lookout for. um, I'm always on the lookout for this book, and I will tell you, hey, what's up, Young? And it's never around. This book is just never in the She-Hulk section where it's supposed to be. Sorry, in the Fantastic Four section where it's supposed to be. It's never there. You flip, you got like 274, 276. You never have 275. Um, I may pick up another copy of this again. So I know with the popularity of the anticipation of the She-Hulk series, these books kind of like Hulk books were hot. Everybody's looking for them, and they're still hot. Um, I think even though the show uh, got canceled, it's not significant. It's just a great cover, just a great John Byrne cover. Even though the show got canceled, um, and again, I don't know why it got canceled. It looked like a great show. I didn't necessarily watch because I don't have Disney Plus, but I was watching like clips and stuff on YouTube, and it looked funny. It looked great. It looked like it was a very different type of show from your typical comic book superhero type movies and TV television content. And I'm kind of sad that it didn't, because the CGI She-Hulk looked great, and the actress who played, you know, who played uh, the character was also very funny. So I'm just confused as to why. Anyway, for whatever reasons, people just hated the show. I didn't see it, but yeah, this is just a great cover here. It's this guy in this story. I think his name's like um, it's anyway. He's supposed to be Stan Lee, and he's a photographer who took some very sort of inappropriate photos during a photo shoot of the She-Hulk. Threatened to publish them, and of course, um, She-Hulk gets involved and puts the guy in his place. But again, he's just supposed to be a sleaze. Um, I'm more apt to kind of cover him up because She-Hulk's really the one we're interested in, and we just love the Fantastic Four costume that she's wearing. Great, amazing John Byrne art. Love this cover. So again, I'm always on the lookout for this book. Um, and if I can pick up more copies, this is really it's her and Stan Lee, right? It's supposed to be Stan Lee. So whenever I see this cover, it's just especially with Stan's passing and everything, it's just a great kind of cover. Um, and again, just John Byrne having fun with Stan on Stan's at Stan's at Stan's sake, and great. I didn't see an issue with the CGI She-Hulk. I mean, it's if you had an issue with the CGI She-Hulk, I guess you have an issue with CGI in general. I mean, right? What differentiated the CGI She-Hulk from the CGI Hulk? They're kind of based off of the actresses and actors that are playing the the enhanced digital versions. So what was the issue? It's such a subjective thing. I mean, I'm not saying your issue with it is invalid. I'm just saying I want to know what the specific issue is. Okay, well that's fair. We just have a problem with CGI. Um, yeah, for me, again, things like that. Uh, I guess you could be critical of art design and how characters are portrayed and whatnot, but I just really feel like all the criticism around She-Hulk was sort of this. Uh, I don't know. It just came from a place that was just not giving it a chance. You know, it's like people had these opinions without really, you know, I don't know. I just felt like it wasn't worth spouting all this like don't watch it, cancel it. There's just a lot of like vitriol behind something that's just supposed to be entertaining. And it's not like these people that were, complaining and bitching about it were like She-Hulk fans to begin with. You know, sure, maybe it's not a show you found entertaining, and I get that because it was supposed to be this comedy lawyer, court kind of like, uh, you know, basically like a lawyer court type drama with a lot of comedy and just lighthearted humor in it. And very different in scope because, you know, it's not like she's fighting, going out and solving crimes and fighting bad guys. It's like she's taking on cases and, you know, doing things in a different context. So, you know, people should have given it a chance. It's not something you see every day. It's not like you're going to get that kind of lawyer type superhero show ever again, because there aren't too many lawyer type superheroes other than Daredevil, who was in the show, and She-Hulk. So I don't know. Right, I like the show too. I thought parts of it were really like just funny. Parts of it were really funny. So I just, again, the humor that I found in the show, probably other types of, you know, other groups of people probably don't find that kind of humor funny. So it's really, I think it's just one of these things where, you know, you just can't please everybody. But one thing that I think most comic book fans will agree is that She-Hulk is a very popular character, right? And now we don't have her storyline, you know, we basically just kind of killed her off, right? In terms of like being able to have content and having her, and this, you know, the fact that the TV show got canceled will affect planning for the books and whatnot, right? So you'll probably see her title fade. You'll probably see her not so prominent in her own books and her own, and that's really the misfortune of this, right? Everybody loves She-Hulk. Everybody had high expectations for the show, and the fact that you know, people came out and just bombarded the show with all these nasty uh, comments and whatnot, and got, you know, that spread and affected the show's popularity. Now we don't have She-Hulk, so there you go. Okay, there are consequences to you bitching about things rather than just, hey, you know what, it's not for me, I'm not going to watch it, and just leaving it at that, right? If you just had left it at that, for people who wanted to enjoy She-Hulk, they could, and She-Hulk would still be around in some form or fashion, and that's not what happened. So bravo to you guys who went out of your way to kill a character that we all love. All right, so this next book is also for quite the opposite reason, also is not coming back. And I was very sad when I heard this news. And that's Gal Gadot Wonder Woman. And this is a great, this is a Adam Hughes cover when the second installment of the Wonder Woman featuring Gal Gadot came out, 1984. Wonder Woman 1984. It was a great movie. I love that movie because I'm a kid of the 80s, and it brought back, the what's up, Young? You enjoying?
I just want to make fun of CJ through your channel. What's
going on?
Not much. Just CJ's watching your channel, so.
Yeah, I know.
On his live stream.
Oh, he is? Oh, okay. Great.
So I just want to say, CJ.
But anyway, as I was saying, Adam Hughes did this great cover of Gal Gadot, and man, does he capture her essence there of this character. Again, I loved both movies. I thought the first movie was really good.
All right,
The
let me see
second,
if I have a Wonder Woman.
the second movie was really entertaining. They had the actress from Saturday Night Live, Kristen. Oh, I'm drawing a blank on her name. Anyway, she's really funny, and she plays Chitara or Cheetah. Sorry, she plays Cheetah as Wonder Woman's rival in that movie. And Chris Pine comes back as again. He's like comes back as a person from the 40s or 50s or whatever into the period of 1980s and 1984, and he's just dealing with all these like 80s references. And it was a fun film. And I thought for sure I think people liked that movie. And I thought for sure the DC Studios would bring back Gal Gadot for another installment of Wonder Woman, but they
84,
didn't.
that one, I mean, that one wasn't really good. First one was awesome.
You didn't like the second one?
Yeah, I didn't like the second one.
Yeah, Kristen Wiig. Yeah. I liked the second one. It was funny. It was a little different in tone. And again, I grew up in the 80s, so again, all the 80s references.
Is it nostalgic for you?
Yeah, I like the parachute pants scene where he's like zipping up his parachute pants and stuff, because I had parachute pants. I think everybody grew up in that as a kid, as in the 80s, had parachute pants. Maybe some adults too.
You can't fight against the nostalgia. I mean, that's part. If nostalgia was your thing, then
yeah.
Let me share some.
I just did, CJ. It was the parachute pants scene.
Let me share you some of my Wonder Woman.
Okay. It was funny. Here, let me make you big. I don't know how to. Is there a way for you to do that? Make yourself big here?
Yeah, I can make myself bigger.
All right.
I think.
Oh yeah, that's J. Scott Campbell.
Yeah, J. Scott Campbell one.
Nice.
Yeah. DCR is gonna. I'm sure he has it, but this.
Beautiful. Who's that?
It looks like
Mark Brooks.
No. Wonder Woman 58. Wilson, Lord Gray, Fat Gerald Jr.
Okay. That's a great cover. These are all. Oh, that's a nice cover. Yeah, that's a beautiful cover. See, I definitely have like a type, I think, because I love Wonder Woman, I love Psylocke, I love Elektra. These are all sort of black-haired warrior type women.
Mm-hmm.
I think I do definitely have a type.
This is a really funny one. I love this one.
Oh yeah. Who's the cover artist on that?
I don't know, but it's funny. Yeah, Gal Gadot is fun.
Gal Gadot is amazing.
Connor,
how can you not fall in love with Gal Gadot?
Mouse Hi-Fi.
Yeah.
But this is really funny. They're changing clothes and Wonder Woman trying to fit into
Harley Quinn, yeah.
Harley Quinn, and Harley Quinn trying to fit into Wonder Woman.
That's funny.
I got another one, really beautiful one, but I can't find it. Hold
on. For me, Gal Gadot, her Israeli accent is just so, oh my gosh. It's like I could listen to her all day, and just be enraptured by her beauty as well. So there we go.
Mm.
All right. Fair enough.
What was said?
People just don't. You, CJ, and Nowhere Bound all did not like the Wonder Woman movie, which is
Oh,
fair. Again, I thought the first one was definitely better. Right, the first one was really good.
first one was excellent. I
Yeah,
liked it. Yeah.
I guess bringing it into the '80s had people people not as excited. All right. So continuing on, and Young, now that you mentioned Wonder Woman and Harley Quinn on the same cover, my next book is Harley Quinn.
Cool.
This is Michael Turner cover here. Love this. I'm not.
Hey, little first.
Yeah, I am not a fan of Harley Quinn because
Don't worry about it.
I did not watch like the Batman animated series. That was kind of, it was not targeted for. I was in college at that point, so I wasn't like a kid watching that cartoon. But I could understand why, it was popular. It really was like great animation, great. Just it wasn't overly violent. It had a lot of action, really just well written and well produced. So, yeah, I kind of wish I was a kid watching it growing up because it probably would have really reinforced Batman and the characters that came out of that. But yeah, so, a Harley Quinn for me is a rather new introduction as I got back into comic books. And I think she's great in terms of like a villain for Batman. But again, this cover here is just amazing because, and if you look really closely at the background of this, they're all like Joker cards there, kind of forming the heart shape behind her, and yeah, just such a beautifully colored and inked cover of Michael Turner's art. So really love that book. All right,
I do have to show you before you go on. I have to show you one more Wonder Woman.
All right, go ahead. Yeah, that's a great one. I remember when that came out. It was like, so many people wanted that book. That's a beautiful one.
Yeah, I like that one.
That was based off of like a real model too, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
And that's same book,
Black and
but a
gold.
different.
Yeah. I love those black and gold covers too. Those
Yeah.
are great. Can you show the other one again? Who's the artist on that?
I don't remember.
Okay. That's a beautiful cover. It's just so realistic looking.
Go ahead. You're gonna show more. What's her name?
Well, I've got 3 more books.
Oh, you don't. Oh, you don't have any more. What's her name?
Harley Quinn?
Yeah.
No. Go ahead and show your Harley Quinn.
There's Harley Quinn right there.
Nice.
There's another one.
Oh, nice. See, they all kind of look different. Everybody has their sort of these like different.
This is J. Scott
Takes.
Campbell's trio, but Harley Quinn's in the middle.
Uh-huh. Yeah, looks great. Catwoman and Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Oh, I like this one. This one is. I love this one.
Hey, what's up, fanboy?
So you like this
still up,
one
buddy?
better, or you like this trade one better?
Oh, that's nice. That's our boy DNA, Dave Nakayama.
I don't think it's David Nakayama.
Oh, it's not.
I don't think so.
Oh, I thought it looked like his art.
But you like that trade one or virgin copy? I like trade one myself.
I like them both. I like them both. What's up, fanboy? You're at work?
But yeah, those are my Harley Quinn.
Hope you're enjoying yourself at work there. This is based off of Fanboy's initial list, as he probably knows.
I think
Um,
Neil started it though.
Yeah, Neil started it.
Yeah.
Yep. But Fanboy did it, and I just wanted to take part as well.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, your video has been ruined. I mean, there's been more than 10. I mean, he lost the theme. But that's
oh, it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you showed off some great books there. We have Supergirl. So this is we're down to my last three, and
I don't have a Supergirl cover.
oh really?
Yeah.
I would
Except
say
the one that I recently bought. That one.
yeah. As you know, I would say my three top characters are Psylocke, Elektra, and Wonder Woman. And again,
Oh yeah, your
Yeah.
top character is Psylocke, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
those three characters they share very similar characteristics. Warrior types, long black hair, they're just I guess that's my type, right? But the next three books are really also some of my favorite covers, and I just love this. So this kind of stems away from the type, but
Oh,
I
yeah.
also love Supergirl. I would say outside of those three characters, Supergirl's probably my next favorite female superhero character. And this cover here, so Artgerm did a bunch of Supergirl covers on this run, on like this period's run of Supergirl, and they're amazing. The Supergirl covers of Supergirl are all just incredible, and I want to pick up more. And that's what we have here. This just
I love
beautiful,
that one.
right?
Yeah. Did you do Batgirl?
Oh wait, did I miss Batgirl?
Did you? No, I don't know. I came in.
No, I did. I did not do. I did not. I did not have Batgirl in my list of books, but I did forget to show off this book as well.
Oh, Catwoman.
Yeah, I'll make this 4. I'll make this 3. So
Yeah.
4. This is Michelle Pfeiffer,
I love her.
Catwoman. Yeah, who doesn't
What's your
love
favorite
Michelle
Catwoman out of all the Catwomans?
She's an amazing Catwoman. Yes, I love the suit too. And again, this is just homage to
Yeah.
Michelle.
I
Great,
forgot.
great Artgerm cover.
Get that one. But,
Yeah. And so Artgerm does it again with this one. This just has for me, it has a girl with the pearl earring vibes, but I just love the way the sun kind of reflects off her hair, and just she looks just so lovely in this picture, right?
yeah.
It's like so
It's sort of.
beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, so we're down to my last 2 books, and these are sort of more old school picks. I know I showed off a lot of modern covers here, but these are definitely from again the age I was collecting and carry nostalgia, and again that sort of middle school. Early, I would say middle school to high school to college sort of nostalgia for me. This one is more from college, and that is Elektra Assassin Dulcin Pater's cover,
Man, I didn't bring up my lecture, but that's.
and
But I
again,
do have replacement cover for that.
yeah, if you're gonna fall in love with a character, there's a good reason why that occurs, and I just love this cover, man. Love that costume design as well.
Beautiful.
So
Here's my answers to that. I guess I should have Electra, but
Gun Honey, make yourself big.
you know she's Korean, right?
The Gun Honey character?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, she's Korean.
Nice.
Version copy.
Nice. Who's the artist on that?
Wow, Stephen King liked it, Gun Honey. I don't know who's the artist. You want me to look it up?
Oh no, it's okay. It looks like almost looks like a photo variant.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Woo-hoo.
Oh, nice.
Oh, there's so many names on here. I can hardly tell. So many names on there. So many variant covers and
Yeah.
But
That's
Gun
cool.
Honey is always have a pretty good looking covers. A lot of people do variants on it. I think I have another Gun. The most recent one. I think you saw it.
All right, thanks for joining.
Hey, thanks,
B.
Fanboy Prime.
Have fun at work. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
She's she has like Psylocke vibes all over her.
Yeah.
For sure.
So
Nice.
that's it. All right, back to you.
All right, so this is the top book, number 1 on my list, and we've been talking about her all evening, and that's Psylocke. This is it's a weird place to see Psylocke. This is a variant cover for Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man. Nowhere is Spider-Man to be seen on this book, but the good people over at Marvel decided to put Jim Lee's comic card X-Men card as the variant cover, and that was a brilliant idea. Israel Silva, I guess, did the inking on this, did a great job, and just an amazing. This is my favorite female character, and Jim Lee made her, so Betsy Braddock was British, and I guess you could assume from that she was Caucasian, and so Psylocke was this sort of
This is J Scott version.
yeah.
Go ahead and speak.
Nice. That's a little different, but that looks nice. From the
And she does look Asian.
yeah, I think so. Again, Jim Lee made her Asian. Jim Lee said she was Asian, and I don't necessarily think that it's like you can have British nationality, you can have a name like Betsy Braddock, and still be Asian, right? Because I mean, if you look at Olivia Munn,
They made this girl, Batgirl Asian.
they made Batgirl Asian.
Yeah.
That's cool.
For the Asian month or something. I don't know. The DC had an Asian.
Yeah. My point is, like, Asian Asian culture, Asian identity, it's so diverse because you have, I mean, when you try to define Asia, you've got what? So many countries, so many nationalities, so many languages, so many different ethnic groups. It's really hard to define uh, Asia as a continent, but you mix into that parts of Asian colonial history. You mix with that the fact that Asians have kind of intermixed with each other over the years. So you have like different, you know, like I'm Korean, I married a Japanese woman. My son is Korean, Japanese American, right? So you just got all this kind of interracial, interethnic mixing.
Japanese and Korean pretty. They're pretty
It's similar, yeah.
well
Mixed
mixed. Well
cultures.
mixed. You know, like a 1/7, and the one the Japanese had a Shogun era during the Shogun era. There was a seven huge family. One of those seven were Koreans.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the anthropological migration of Koreans to Japan, our DNA is definitely in. You know, it's like Koreans migrated to Japan. Also, you had people from different island cultures migrating to Japan as well. So there was mixing, but you're right. The primary genetic makeup of Japan comes from Korea.
Yeah.
That's something even the Japanese acknowledge. So it's not like controversial for me to say something like that.
No, it's not.
It's academically
It's like all academic.
academically accurate.
Yeah.
But anyway, but you're right. Like, yeah, like we're very similar in culture. Our languages are similar. There's definitely a cross-cultural influence there. So I don't understand why we politically we are so opposed to each other when we're so similar.
It's like a brotherly hate.
It's like I guess it's like the closer you are to family, the more issues there can be. But
Like look at North and South Korea.
yeah, I'm gonna make a sequel here. But again, my point around Psylocke is she could have a name like Betsy Braddock. She can be biracial, like, you know, having a biracial background where her father is British, her mother is maybe Chinese or whatever, and Asian in terms of her identity. So I've kind of resolved that in my head. I hope people can wrap their brain around the fact that Psylocke can be Asian and still fit into her initial backstory of being British and having a name like Betsy Braddock. Nice. Yeah, you know, I almost put Red Sonja on my list as well. I'm just not, you know, she's not one of the characters I really
I have those Red Sonja from the 70s.
Yeah.
I probably if I did my 10, I probably pick those books.
Yeah. You got to realize my introduction to Conan was not from like the comics. It was from the Conan the Barbarian movie, Arnold Schwarzenegger and all that. So, which is, you know, not to say like the comic books aren't great and all that. I never got into them. It's not something I collect. And
you don't have a Tomb Raider in your list?
No Tomb Raider on my list.
Oh, come on, man. You got to have Tomb
Lara
Raider.
Croft.
Yeah. You gotta have Tomb Raider in the list.
Did you play Tomb Raider?
Yeah,
when it came out?
When it first came out.
Yeah.
the PC game when it first came out. I played with the 3D glasses and everything.
Wow.
Yeah. We had guys who wanted to marry Tomb Raider. Yeah. Oh, I like this one.
Is that Gwenum? Nice.
Look at the what's it say? Face it, tiger. Can you read that?
I can't read it. Nowhere Bound says you would have a top 50 women's cover. You like to collect the women's covers, huh?
Oh yeah.
I think we all do. I think there's something, a part of us that
Black Cat.
loves collecting.
I would have a top 50 women's cover. Maybe even top 100. Is it Jenny Prism cover?
It may be. Looks like it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think this is Jenny Prism cover.
Nice. Oh yeah. She puts out great stuff.
Huh?
Great cover artist.
Yeah. I even have something that's like, I don't know. Oh, this is DNA, right? This DNA.
Love DNA. Yeah, beautiful.
DNA.
Yeah, I neglected to have a DNA cover on here. I do want DNA's Psylocke cover. It's a beautiful Psylocke cover.
I don't know why this is pretty provocative right there.
Wow. That's risque.
Yeah.
Fanboy's not working and watching us.
Right, I'm Hughes, Tomb Raider cover. Cool. J. Scott. I pulled out a J. Scott box. Yeah. And Mary Jane, you gotta have Mary Jane and Gwen together.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Yeah, you and I stand on opposite sides of that spectrum. You're the Mary Jane. You're the Mary Jane fan, and I'm a
Does that remind you of I'm Singing in the Rain?
nice. Nice. Love Gwen Stacy.
Mary Jane, Gwen Stacy. Yeah. This one, I bought it with the Wonder Woman. I regret that purchase. That's too much. It's just a bit too much.
Is that Wonder Woman?
No. I bought it. You know that Wonder Woman that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I bought it with the same company and same dealer.
Wow, you have a lot of women's covers. I didn't realize.
Yeah, I'm a pervert. No, you say, remember when I did the triplicate girl, and I said, you said, Hyung, you sound like a creep or whatever. And I said, when did I say I wasn't?
I have that cover. I have that right here. Let's show them off together. This is a beautiful cover, actually. It didn't make the list, but it easily could have. Beautiful cover right there.
Yeah. I especially love this kind of stuff. This kind of stuff is just, it tells a story to me. You know,
the magazine cover, yeah. It looked like DNA. I thought it was DNA at first.
I don't think. Yeah.
So you mentioned that Rogue is your favorite female character.
Oh yeah.
Do you have some Rogue covers to show off?
The one that I got, what's his name to draw?
Oh yeah. Oh, did you hear Raquel Welch died today?
Oh.
She passed.
Oh.
So that was
This is tribute. Rest in peace, Raquel Welch. Rest in
yeah.
peace.
Rest in peace, Raquel.
This is a tribute to Raquel Welch.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about beautiful women. I mean, Raquel Welch was like every man's fantasy, I would say, right?
Yeah. The Tricky Trapster gonna draw something like this.
Yeah. Hopefully, he's inspired with her passing to do a really thoughtful job on that.
Maybe I'll tell her
commission.
make the rogue look like Raquel Welch.
Yeah, make her. Yeah, or just do Raquel Welch. You don't need to necessarily have. You don't need to have her be Rogue. You could just have her be Raquel.
Greg Horn's, I like Greg Horn's art. Greg Horn's art is pretty good.
That's great. That's great. Yeah. Greg Horn is a great artist. So is Mark Brooks. I mean, there's so many great artists. It's really, you really just gotta focus
I
on
do have a Supergirl. I did find one Supergirl cover.
Nice.
From Dollar Bin.
Nice. For me though, I love Art Germ. I love Peach Momoko. I love all these like modern artists. But I do feel like comic book art is.
Yeah, she appeared in Shawshank Redemption. You're right. That poster. Yeah.
I do feel like comic book art is getting away from comic books. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like comic book art is all about panel work, telling a story, and if you're gonna make every panel like a Picasso like oil painting type thing, it loses. But that's kind of where we're at, right? We're kind of moving toward like digital, sort of the digital art process, really rendering clean images. And if that translates into the panel, they're already doing all the coloring and the work digitally to do the books. So it's really moved a long ways away from how they did it in the Copper Age, how they did it in.
It's too easy to make each panel look, So if every panel look cool, then none of the panel really stands out, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I think we're there in terms of like quality control. Like people just want the higher standards of art in their comic books, and they're getting it with these like really amazing artistic covers. But like that Wonder Woman black and gold that you showed. That almost looks like a photo variant, right?
If you work on a digital image, you could work. If you work it long enough, eventually they become photo.
Right. It loses its comic. I tend to like things that are still based on a sketch.
I like where Noah's going on this. Noah Bound. The Raquel Welch poster was in the Shawshank Redemption's prison cell.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
That movie was awesome.
Shawshank Redemption was also written by Stephen King.
Yep.
We forget how broad Stephen King's influence is on popular culture. I mean, he's written so many of our movies and
Right.
Did you know Stephen King almost
Huh?
Did you know Stephen King almost became a comic book writer?
Well, I mean, as a writer, I mean, he probably couldn't. He probably didn't have a choice but to consider it.
So there's a story that Stephen King sent in
Sleepy.
some samples to DC, and at the time, I think Marv Wolfman received the work and Marv Wolfman. So for whatever reasons, the mail came in
Oh
from
yeah,
Stephen King.
no, yeah. Stephen King with Stephen King wrote it in a Rita Hayworth, right? Yeah, it was Rita Hayworth's poster, but Tim Robbins. Is it Tim Robbins with influence Raquel Welch?
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to so Stephen King sent in some of his comic book, I guess, manuscripts to Marv Wolfman at DC,
Oh yeah.
and Wolfman received them, but didn't get around to opening
Yeah,
them.
right.
And they sat on his desk or whatever. And in that meantime, Stephen King was, like, I think had entered some kind of writing competition and had his work published, and then got a book deal. So
His first biggest book deal was Carrie.
yeah, so the publishing, before his book, before Carrie came out, he got recognized by a publishing company through a competition. So the fact that he didn't work in comic books, the fact that Wolfman didn't look at his work and hire him and do all that, prevented King from getting into comic books, which was actually good for his career because he ended up being one of the best novelists, fictional novelists of our time. So I thought that was a really funny and cool story about King. He did want to get into comic books, but fate and circumstances prevented that. And again, his career path, he was so talented.
I mean, his books read like comic books sometimes.
Sometimes, right? Yeah. I think all good writers can adapt themselves to whatever format that they're writing in.
This right here. What did it called?
I'm not aware of this Creepshow comic with Bernie Wrightson, but sounds intriguing.
Right here, it says right here.
Yeah. Stephen King's written quite a bit of. He enjoys the comic book medium for sure. He did the Dark Tower. Well, he signed off on his Dark Tower series being adapted to comic books. I know he's written some of the books for the comic book series as well. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Right?
made
Yeah. So I think it's a good thing he didn't go into comic books. It's a good thing Marv Wolfman never hired him and never really opened his work up. Otherwise, who knows? King might have had a very different.
I read his little. It's not a bio, but I think it was called one of those how to write book. He wrote one of those books, something about writing.
Mm-hmm.
And he gave me his little story in there, his little bio, and basically the Carrie changed his life. Carrie,
Yeah.
Carrie is the one. That's when he finally decided that he's writing novels. Not.
Yeah, that was the last book in the Gunslinger series, which was the Roses. What is it? The Black Rose. What's the last book in his series called?
Yeah, it was a book, the Dark Tower books. And
yeah, he didn't get around to writing the last installment of the Gunslinger series. which is the what is the last book? Oh, The Dark Tower is just called The Dark Tower. And I can understand why he didn't get around to writing it, right? He's just so busy, and this is really his, like, if you look at King interviews, the Dark Tower series is his sort of like crowning achievement. Like it's the work that I think was most significant. This was, I want to say, again, 20 years ago, maybe, right? If you look at what he was doing in interviews and stuff, this was really the focus of his career, his work. And so he was holding off on writing that last installment. And then he got into that terrible car accident.
Somebody hit him on the. He likes to walk. He likes to take a walk, and somebody truck just veered right into him.
And he was in the ICU on life support. I mean, it was like, I think there was a few reports that actually reported him dead because it was one of those like accidents that most people don't recover from, right? But he made a miraculous full recovery, and that's the first thing he did. He finished the book. He's like, that, I guess that was on the forefront of his mind in his recovery. He's like, oh, this is a message from God that I better finish this book. And he finished it.
I didn't know this. I didn't know this story. Did you know King bought the 1985 Dodge Caravan that hit him to keep creepy fans from getting it?
He did. Wow, I didn't know that. That's funny.
I know. His creepy mind will think of something like that.
Well, you know what's interesting about if you read, what is it, book 6? Is it book 6? Because King enters his own world.
Yeah, no,
he's a character. Yeah. Like they go, the characters have to, and this is what makes it that
he even writes something about his accident in the book, I think.
Well, so yeah, in the last book, you're absolutely right. Yeah, he references the accident.
Yeah.
And they save him from the accident, right?
Yeah, they save the gunslinger and save him from the accident.
They save him from the accident
because their world is fading. It's like,
yeah. And so it's just that he creates this like amazing. It's really amazing. Like if you look at things within the story and the real life situation of him, like working on that whole creative process, it's all tied in together, which is what makes that whole thing amazing. Wow.
Oh, really?
I didn't know that. That's interesting. Sleepy always drops the knowledge.
Yeah, but in a time when you can keep your rights. What's that mean, Sleepy?
Yeah, it just means like nowadays, if you create a correct character, you write a book that in the comic book industry.
Oh, when you can keep your rights.
You retain and you get royalties and whatnot from the sales. So
okay, so not like a days when Jack Kirby days.
Yeah, those days are tragic. Actually, those days are tragic because if you look at what Marvel and DC have become,
I mean that's how it is on all. Did you ever heard of like a Thomas Edison legacy? I mean, his wealth. You never hear of that. You never hear what's his name? what's the Thomas Edison rival guy? Tesla. You never
Tesla.
hear about his wealthy legacy, right? Instead you hear those guys that whatever financed those guys. Those guys are the one that's left over, Rockefeller and all those guys. Those guys are the one that's left over, having all the money from generation to generation. But
Yeah.
it's the Thomas Edison, it's the Tesla. All these guys built the things that we utilize right now.
Yeah.
It's
Well, is that the case for though, like
GE and all those guys are the one who's left.
I'm just thinking of like
Westinghouse.
Alexander Graham Bell. It doesn't apply to Bell because Bell made a lot of money off his invention, right? The telephone.
I mean, there might be certain cases where mostly it's these guys who finance it is the ones who's making the money.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. And Edison got. I mean, he took a little bit off from Tesla too. But I mean, you don't hear he's building somewhere. You don't see he's I don't know. I mean, just
yeah.
It's always the guys who financed it.
Oh yeah, I love the movie. What's the movie called with Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman?
Oh, is that the one where they have a creepy story about magicians?
It's the magician story. What is it called? The Illusionist or something?
Yeah.
That was a great movie.
I don't know if that's what he's talking about, the Noah Bound. Is he talking about that?
That is, because Bowie was Tesla in that one.
Was he? Okay.
Yeah. That was a great movie.
That was a very creepy movie, man. That's like
at the end, it was like, whoa.
You figure out where all his duplicate is going. I mean, I don't know if I want to go through that kind of torture.
I remember I watched that movie, I think, twice in the theaters because it was just, you couldn't wrap your head around it the first time. And then I watched it a second time, and it was one of those it messed with your mind kind of movies.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys remember that guy who invented the windshield wiper. He invented I forgot his name. He invented a windshield wiper that where you can make adjustments, time delay adjustments, and
the speeds. You mean? The speed.
Yeah, and he tried to sell it to I think GM or Ford. I think GM or Ford. I don't know which one. Anyway, they didn't accept his invention, but they go ahead and made their own, try to get around the patent and everything. So he dedicated all his life fighting against them, right? But that destroyed his family. Meanwhile, doing that, he finally won. He finally got his name recognition and all that. But
did he get money?
He got the money, but
it was too late.
By that time, it was utilized by Toyota and all these other companies, and
the Prestige. That's right.
But but you got to fight tooth and nail to, and sacrifice your family to get what you want out of these wealthy people.
The word bound, dropping the knowledge.
Yeah, Edison. I know. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, Edison invented a lot of stuff, but he wasn't Tesla. I regret that Thomas Edison and Tesla had to split up that way. But Tesla was also very independent mind. Probably hard for people like that to work together with each other. What so you ruined your 10 thing video today. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. I don't mind. For me, it's not about keeping my content in this
Little box.
digestible, curated. Yeah, for me, it's like if people want to hang out, people want to listen to what I want to say. That's fine, but it doesn't have to be all pre-planned and boxed up nicely. I think I should do that. To be honest, I think I should force myself to do more editing and put in the nice visuals and graphics and all that. But I am so lazy.
I can't invention. Do you have the money, Sleepy? I don't. Yeah, I'm in a situation where I cannot invent things. So
you can't even listen to people's ideas.
Yeah, I can't even listen.
Can't even. You know what I mean? You can't. All that's gonna do is
Einstein used to work for patent office.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. I'm not comparing myself to Einstein.
I wonder though what working in a patent office, like seeing other people's.
I think that might inspire him.
Right? I think it would drive you to maybe study more or just like, take more interest in things because you're just seeing like a lot of great potential ideas that are other people's. It's got to motivate you in some scope.
I'm sure it's just like anything else. I'm sure it's like anything else. Every idea has a diamond diamond, and then the rest of them are garbage, right? Diamond in the rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Einstein is an interesting story for the patent office. But,
what you been up to, Young? I've seen you. I see you popping in channels here and there. What have you been up to?
I was at Insomniac day before yesterday. He's doing the Insomniac again.
Yeah.
I actually have to catch up with work, so I have to leave the. I couldn't do the Insomniac, but I figured I'd jump in here since you're not gonna be doing like Insomniac.
No, I was just gonna. I'm sick right now, so I just want to do a quick video and probably head to bed. So I'm gonna probably sign off now. But yeah, I'll be seeing you in about 2 weeks, right?
Well, I mean, if I was here, Sleepy,
you're getting yourself into trouble. You gotta be careful there.
You should probably say if you have enough, if you come up with you solve the unit. What is it? What was Einstein didn't achieve? The unity.
This is my girlfriend right here. This is my girlfriend. That's my girlfriend right here. My
Your
wife
wife
knows.
would say, if you solve the unified field theory, you could go ahead and have a second wife. Second. I
Right.
whole world will approve of you, but
Yeah.
second wife.
I think if you if you basically win the Nobel Prize in physics, that would qualify you to do a little cheating, I guess.
I'm just well, you gotta first solve the unified field theory first, Sleepy. Learn the right thing first.
So I mean, Sleepy, you already have like your girlfriends here in comic book form, right? So.
Yeah. This will be your like third mistress. This will be like your third mistress. Yeah, that cousin is pretty weird, but how far of a cousin is it? I mean, if it's a far away cousin, I guess it's okay. But then what's his name? Like that single married cousin too?
Jerry Lee Lewis, yeah. Well, Eisenhower, right?
Oh, full cousin. She was full cousin. Wow.
Eisenhower married not Eisenhower. Roosevelt.
Yeah, I mean they probably knew each other quite well, so family were close back then. Well, I'm gonna go.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out, man.
All right. Night, guys.
Night.
Chat.